Hello and welcome to a new video on IGCSE Mathematics. In this video, we shall be discussing factoring by grouping. In this question, we're required to factorize the following expression completely: ax plus ay plus 3cx plus 3cy. So you can always try different pairs. This is a factoring by grouping question because you have 4 terms and you need to figure out a way to pair them together correctly. We normally start by trying 2 pairs that are close to each other. We just try these 2 pairs together. So let's take out a as a common factor. We are left with x plus y. Now for these 2 pairs, for this second pair, we can take out 3c, positive 3c, as a common factor. And again, we're going to have x plus y inside the bracket. Now, what tells us that we're successful is that we have the exact same bracket in both expressions, because now we can take out the bracket as a common factor. We just take this out. And what we're left with in the first expression, we just have a remaining. And then in the second expression, we have plus 3c. And that is our final answer. X plus y multiplied by a plus 3c is the correct final answer. So in this case, we have mp plus np minus 6mq minus 6nq. So let's try taking out p as a common factor here. What remains is m plus n. Then let's try taking out negative 6q as a common factor here. And what remains is, so if you're confused, you can always try dividing by the common factor. So if you have negative 6mq divided by negative 6q, if you cross these out together and you cross these out together, you're left with m, positive m. So we just write positive m here. And for the second term, we have negative 6nq divided by negative 6q. So again, if you cross these out and you cross these out as well, you're left with positive n. So you just write plus n. And we are successful because we have the same bracket in both cases. So the final answer is going to be obtained by taking the common bracket out as a common factor and sort of removing it from the expression. So what are you left with? You're left with p and minus 6q. So you just write p minus 6q in another bracket and you are done. So if we compare to the final answer, let me just erase some of the steps. You can see, obviously, that we have obtained the same final answer. M plus n multiplied by p minus 6q. In this question, we have 2ax minus 4bx minus ay plus 2by. So if we pair the first 2 together, we can take 2x as a common factor. And you're left with a minus 2b. If you're not sure how I got this, you just divide each term by the common factor. So 2ax divided by 2x. This gives us a. And then minus 4bx divided by 2x. This is going to give us negative 2b because the x's cancel out. And 4 and 2 can be simplified into 2 and 1. So you're just left with negative 2b. Now for the second pair, we have negative ay plus 2by. Remember, you're trying to get another replica of this bracket. So you want the bracket to have positive a. and negative 2b. So it's smart to try to take out here negative y as a common factor instead of positive y. Because if you take out negative y as a common factor and you try to divide the terms, you're going to get negative ay divided by negative y, which is positive a, and 2by divided by negative y gives you negative 2b. If you cancel out the y's, you just get 2b over a negative, which is basically negative 2b. So we have negative y multiplied by a minus 2b, and we have the same bracket in both. So this tells us we are successful, and the final answer is going to be 2x minus y multiplied by a minus 2b. And if you compare to the final answer here, you realize that they are the same. In this problem, we have xy minus 2x plus 3y minus 6. Let's try pairing them together. Xy minus 2x has a common factor of x, and the remaining elements in the bracket would be y minus 2. And then we have plus 3y minus 6. If you try to take out positive 3 as a common factor, you would get y minus 2 as well. So the same bracket appeared in both expressions. We take it out as a common factor. And the remaining items are the x and the positive 3. So we just write here x plus 3, and we are done. So y minus 2 multiplied by x plus 3 is the correct answer. In this problem, again, we try to take the first two pairs together. We take y out as a common factor, and we end up with x plus 5. For the second pair, we can take positive 2 out as a common factor. Try not to forget this sign because it's very important, and it's the source of most mistakes in this type of question. So if you take a 2 out, you're left with x plus 5 again, and you have the same bracket. And this tells us we're successful. So if we cross the bracket out and write it as a common factor, you are left with y plus 2. And this would be our final answer. X plus 5 times y plus 2 is the correct final answer. There it is. So this is successful. In this case, we have px plus py minus x minus y. So I'm intentionally going to solve it incorrectly just to show you something you need to avoid, and then I'm going to show you how to improve your answer. So we start by taking p as a common factor, and you're left with x plus y, and then you have minus x minus y. So if you leave it as it is, you just take like 1 out as a common factor. If you don't take any common factor out to begin with, what do you have? You have negative x minus y. So these two brackets are very similar, except for the fact that they are negated. One of them is the negative of the other. So how do you fix that? By just taking out a negative 1 from the second bracket. So you're going to rewrite this as negative 1 multiplied by, and we switch the sign of each term inside, so we get x plus y. Now we have the same exact bracket in both terms, which is what we're looking for. So we take this bracket outside, we have x plus y, and the remaining terms are p and negative 1. So this is just p minus 1, and this is the final answer. X plus y multiplied by p minus 1 is the correct final answer. as you can see from the marking scheme here, we have the correct answer. 18y minus 3ay plus 12x minus 2ax. Let's try to take a common factor out of the first two. Of course, you can take 3y here as a common factor, and you're left with 6 minus a. If you're unsure how I got this, you can just divide each term by the common factor. So 18y over 3y equals 6. Because the y's cancel out, and 18 divided by 3 is 6, then negative 3ay divided by 3y gives you negative a. For the second two terms, we have 12x minus 2ax. If we take 2x out as a common factor, we're left with 6 minus a again. And this is the correct answer because we have the same bracket in both. And this is positive 2x. So our final answer is going to be 3y plus 2x multiplied by 6 minus a. Let's check the answer. We have 3y plus 2x multiplied by 6 minus a. We have the correct answer, so we're good. This brings us to the end of our video. Thank you for listening in. I hope this has been beneficial to you.